Hello, the game has started and my opponent has opened with a bingo, both blanks, foliage. Now I'm wondering about foliaged. And duly. Yeah, that's fine. Worrying. I wouldn't be worrying about bingoing if opponent left that spot alone, but unfortunately he's taken the spot and I will be worrying about getting back into the game because I'm 150 behind. So, worrying? No. Worrying? No. What about worrying? No. Wiry. I have ring. Wingy. Opponent. Now I've got the cue. I just can't seem to get to a bingo-y rack. Unfortunately. No Z hotspot either. Zorro is good. Doesn't quite work. QI's got to be the play. I do have almost Eurozone. If the R were a U, would have been able to play it onto the E. Now, what can I play? Zone. I have the zone component of a word. Also have zero. I'd rather get rid of an R than an N. So what about 0 for 40? Not far from a bingo, but I'm not seeing one straight off the bat. Unornate, actually, onto the E is nice. I think I'll go ahead and whack that down. Unornate. Now, I do draw a fairly balanced rack, and opponent still has a 40-point lead plus a triple word square that he's about to pounce on top of. Head note would be quite nice through a D. That doesn't look like it's going to happen. Athenode, no. The R does actually look quite useful with this set. Like a there word or thereonto or something like that. Not gonna happen. Hereunto would have been great if, or hereonto also would have been nice if the A were an O. But am I missing a bingo? I don't think the U helps me, and I don't think it's going to remain available anyway. But the R is where my focus is currently directed. Yeah, exuviate. 54. I've got hovia, but I've drifted a little further from a bingo here. Opponent still holds a healthy lead of about 40 points. I'm trying to identify. Hovia does play through the O. I have aha for 23. Not a bad rack leave. Hovia scores a touch more. 30. Yeah, I'll go with this. Ah, toenail elation. Beautiful. I wonder if that'll remain available for row 2. And it also plays in row 14. So I am bingoing. But is there something from the E? Well, not that I can see straight off the bat. Okay, toenail and elation do not play underneath J-O. That's a shame. Now, toenail and elation leave the hotspot below D1. There's going to be a vowel there either way. I'm likely to play it here. Elation. Yeah, 70. 3 S's to come though. But not seeing another. What about a bingo through the N? Not seeing it. Okay, opponent's definitely got at least one of those 3 S's by my estimation, so he could be about to strike hard. Interesting. He plays bend. Now, That's such a shame. I can't play below the IN, and I can't do much above it either. I mean, ABBA, ABOW. No, ABOW's no good. Do I do this? It's such a hot spot to leave alone if I don't play there. You know what they say, if there's one hot spot, create another one. Wow, my B and my W both play above Rit, but I can't seem to... Wabe. Nah, it just doesn't look good. It's Nabe that I'm thinking of. Might do hour. It mitigates what my opponent can do across the top and underneath. 22's a little weak, but it's a score, I guess. Okay, bemoans. That does play in row O as well as column O as well as row 2. So where would my preferred spot be? Obviously column O because of the score. Ambones, I think, is the other. Is the anagram. Ambones leaves a O next to a triple, as does bemoans. Okay, opponent does bingo there. I'll play bemoans here. Actually, bemoan plays alongside, but it doesn't have enough space. Opponent has the lead. Bemoans for 78. And look at the scores, 429 to 457. I should be able to go out with Sig. Yes, Con and Sig. And Grit and Sig. So I'm definitely going out. But will opponent score enough to get me? I'd say he'd need a 50-point play. And even then, it would be very close. I mean, the H above the M could be a big score, but I did mentally make a note of the H, and I couldn't see a way he could get the H there at D1. Not with the B there. That's why I played bemoans instead of ambones. Ambones seem to give easier overlaps. Opponent looking to see what he can do with this lot. He's probably identified that I have two outplays, so he can't block, but Con and Sig would be my optimal play, I'd say. Actually, oh yeah, I was thinking of reversing at GIC and grid, but Gick no good. So Con and Sig, or Sig and Grit. Okay, opponent scores 26 for ouch, and he's just 2 points behind, but I'm going out with Sig. And that's the end of the game, 480 to 455. Thank my opponent for the game. So close finish there. Let's see what we missed. Back to the beginning, and opponent had a few different bingos there. Wow, quite a few actually. I suppose with 2 blanks it's to be expected. And he's gone ahead with foliage. Now, Julie scores 27. Yeah, much of a muchness with the equities there. I wanted to get rid of the U and the Y, 2 undesirables. Beautiful rack here, reposited for 94. Opponents off to the races with a 143-point lead. And to rub salt into the wound, he actually takes my bingo spot as well. So Wingy for 43 was best from that rack. Then opponent's got Ye Like for 36, and that gives me a spot for my Q. Zorro also an option at D1. No, not an option. I'm not giving opponent an easy 40 or 50 point play by hanging on to QE. No, thank you. So I got rid of the Q, and as you can see, opponent would have had Frizz, F-R-I-Z, for a Mozza. Now I had... Oh, this was opponent's turn here. He goes with Jimpy, and then I've got Zorro for 50, same spot, but I'm not considering leaving a Z in the trip lane. No, thank you. 0 was fine by me, but Zorino was another option at 6B. That's alright. Zorino doesn't leave the Z floating in the trip lane, and a pretty decent rack leave. So I quite like that, but very similar equities, so still happy with my play. Didn't give anything back to opponent. And then he's got an abundance of eyes. Philly Eye helps to dispatch of 2. Wow, but look at that. 40-point play at F6. Oh, Philly Eye, a little bit hidden, But what a big score. 40 points and getting rid of 3 eyes. Perfect play. Opponent does play filly eye, but in that spot. Now I need an E for unornate, and luckily it's not taken this time. So I got that bingo down, the only one. Oh, let's just look at opponent's options. Exuvia looks best. Varix also an option, but Exuvia. Now Exuviate was best for 54 with a decent enough rack leave. And then opponent's got Dotter for 18 with a good rack leave, or Dota for 16 with a even better rack leave. Goes with Rit. Now Navarro 34 4F. Navarro. It's only vaguely familiar, so I don't think I would have spotted that one. Hovia was the next best one, so that's fine. Then Odd for 19 with a powerhouse rack leave, and vowels and consonants are pretty balanced, so yeah, he's likely to draw at least a vowel on the next turn, plus there's a floating A, so not a bad play. And then I've got the Elation toenail rack, and I decided to go with the 13H placement. Because although it provided an S hook, I think leaving an A below D1 with such an easy comeback score for opponent, you know, if he places a W or a H or a M or a B above the vowel, then he's got a decent 40, early 40s to late 40-point play. But in retrospect, because they're 3 S's unseen, I think Elation was a bit volatile. There are a lot of bingo-y tiles here, and I had to infer that from my opponent's play of just OD that he left a strong rack. So in retrospect, I don't like my placement of Elation. I prefer 14H, even if it does give back some score. It's a tricky one. I'm not sure. Anyway, opponent does not draw a vowel, luckily enough for me, and he goes with Bend for 30. It was the highest scoring play. Now, I played Hour for 22 at 15M, but B12, same word. Hour there. I did mentally consider it, but why did I prefer the other placement? Yeah, I don't know. I just felt that opponent might. It was also, I thought there was a hot spot here at 12L across. I thought that could hit pretty hard. But now having a look at it, I don't know if there are so many heavy hitting plays for opponent. Yeah. Anyway, Hour was the play for 22. Now opponent's got rosters for 82, storers, resorts, sorters, quite a few options, and he gets rosters down. And I've got Ambones and Bemoans. Actually, Ambones scored 1 point more, but that was at N4. Ambones. I didn't even look at the overlap from higher up. I was looking at, 6N down, which wasn't enough space. M. Burns. I should have looked a little closer. Only 1 point, I guess. Didn't make opponents unlikely to be bingoing anyway, so it's not like I had to take this bingo spot out. But yeah, there you go, an extra point for M. Burns. And opponent's got the 2 U's, so what's the most he can get? Nash. Wow, that is a big score. 2J Nache. Wow, that is huge. Not a great leave, but would 44 have been enough? Probably not, because it would have put opponent on 473, and then he's got 6 points less on countback because I'm going out first. So 473 less 6 is 467. So I need 10 points to win. Yeah, to draw, and I'm definitely getting more than 10 with Sig and Con. So even that monster play of Nash or Nacho would not have been enough to win at that stage. Opponent goes with Ouch for 26, and then look at that, Gelations. Yeah, putting the G, but it doesn't make sense to do that because then opponent might have some kind of winning play. Doubtful with EAU if I'm scoring 25, but I thought just go out and make it official. And that was the end of the game. So pretty good game. Some interesting words coming out there in the analyzer list. Navarro and one other one. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.